Good evening. It is Monday, March 27th at 7:03, and I call the Maple Plain City Council meeting to order. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With the addition of letter B under new business, city administrator resignation, I'm looking for a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Moved by DeLuca,
Second.
second by Francis. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, 5-0. First item of business this evening is visitors to be heard, and seeing none, we will move on to our consent agenda. Our consent agenda this evening includes letters A through E, City Council meeting minutes, personnel policy revision, revised seal coat bid, Fire Relief Association pension, Rainbow Park swing set damage. With that, I'm looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Fay,
Second.
second by DeLuca. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, 5-0. Next, we'll move on to accounts payable, and we will start with the city check batch, and I will turn that over to staff.
Thank you, Mayor. I am happy to answer any questions council members may have regarding accounts payable. I did not receive any emails with
Okay.
questions.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
On you, Clarissa Hadler, it looks like you bought and are being reimbursed for an SD card and SD card reader.
Mhm. Correct.
Is that, will that remain city property?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
Okay, any other questions regarding the city check batch? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of approving the city check batch signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
same sign. All right, motion carries 5-0. Next item this evening is the fire partnership check batch. Any questions or comments from staff?
Aye again.
Okay.
Hildy, $1,950 for the actuarial work that was done for the Fire Relief Association pension increase. I do not feel that that actuarial work should be paid for by the fire department. I feel it should be an administrative charge in the special fund of the Fire Relief Association.
So I had actually run that by the accountants 2 years ago when I started. I heard a similar concern, and so I did verify with them that the only reason they do that is for our audit purposes, and so it is truly a partnership expense.
Really?
Mhm.
Even though in the, all right.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the fire partnership check batch.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Francis, second by Burek.
Sure.
So Francis and Burek. Any further discussion? Hearing none, in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries 5-0. Next item of business this evening is our staff reports. We received written reports from our planner, West Hennepin Public Safety, our city engineer, Public Works, our fire department, and administration and finance. Any questions from anyone regarding any of the reports or comments from staff that are present?
We did not receive one from planning.
Sorry, after I said.
That is correct.
Yep. Thank you, Councilmember Fay. There is no report from our planner. All in favor of receiving reports B through F signify, or looking for a motion to receive reports B through F.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Fay,
I'll second the motion.
second by Burek. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Next, we'll move on to new business this evening, and the first item of new business is the MnDOT property purchase. And I'm going to turn that over to our administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. We started this process quite a while ago, and it's finally over. So the Minnesota Department of Transportation owns this little plot of land at the corner of Bud and Highway 12 in the southwest quadrant. And then there's another sort of little adjacent sliver a little bit further west. There's a map in the packet if anybody would like to take a peek at that. And so as part of the downtown development, the goal was to, gather as much of these little pieces of property so that we can use them for stormwater or whatever it is that needs to be done there. When we contacted MnDOT, they then also requested if they could acquire a teeny tiny 36 square feet of property that is currently sort of in their, I don't know how to describe it, because it's not a right of way. These are typically fee-owned properties that MnDOT owns. So it just so happens there's this little tiny nugget of property that went into their property. They'd like to smooth out that line. So this is in part purchase, in part trade for that tiny little sliver. The total balance due to MnDOT will be $19,300. I had City Attorney Scott Landsman run through the documentation, and so he's just made a recommendation that we schedule sort of a closing meeting with MnDOT, and so maybe it's the mayor, myself, and City Attorney Landsman with the MnDOT staff to just sort of finalize everything and make sure everything's in order, sort of like a closing, like you do with a title company.
The state did extensive due diligence in assessing pollutants and things of that nature, 6 pages worth here. Is there anything in the work that they've done and they've listed in here that jumps out at you that we should be concerned about by acquiring this property? We're taking on a headache parcel that we will have to spend lots of money to potentially clean up?
So I am not an environmental engineer.
Neither am I.
And so there wasn't anything that jumped out at me, but it's more of because of ignorance than anything. So if you would like, we could certainly put a pin in this, and I can have somebody at Bolton and Mink review everything. I have a feeling that property is going to be sort of in the similar state as the adjacent, like our already existing sort of unknown problem with our own property. But again, I'm sort of speculating there.
Other questions or thoughts?
Would we put a condition on it that Bolton and Mink takes a peek at it, or is
You
is
certainly
it-
may.
I don't want to hold this up, certainly, and
I'm comfortable with
Okay.
it as is, unless I'm hearing concerns from others. Anyone? Do you feel like you got enough information
Well-
to vote, or?
we had tanks buried in the ground underneath Olson's for years. There's some pollutants there that they seem to have not be overly concerned about. This was a car repair facility at one point. You know, they identified some contaminants in the soil. I just don't know how to read these, if they're red flags, or, you know, if it's gonna require, you know, us removing thousands of cubic yards of soil, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. No, it's probably not. If we're gonna develop, we need the parcel. If we're gonna develop and there happens to be ramifications because of it, then we're gonna have to deal with those at the time. I don't think we can try to legislate it right now. So I guess I'm in favor of closing the deal.
Okay. All right, hearing no other discussion, I'm looking for a motion to approve a resolution approving the purchase and sale of the properties. Do I need to list each one?
No.
So
It's in the
moved.
resolution.
Moved by DeLuca,
Second.
second by Francis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, the ayes have it, 5-0. We added a new business item this evening, and that is our city administrator resignation. On Friday afternoon, council received the resignation of Administrator Hadler, so I will be reading her letter that was submitted since we weren't able to put it in the packet, and then we will need to accept that. All right, on March 24th, 2023. Dear respected members of City Council, please accept this letter as notice of my resignation from my posting as City Administrator for Maple Plain. My last day of employment will be May 5th, 2023. I am grateful for the opportunity to serve the City of Maple Plain for these past 2 years. I feel we have accomplished great strides in improving many of the processes in the organization and preparing the city for long-term financial sustainability. It has been a pleasure to work with our team of staff, consultants, and stakeholders in the community. There are many that I will remember fondly for their vocal support of our team and service to the community. I welcome the opportunity to assist with the transition of my duties before and after my departure as you see fit to ensure that the foundational processes we have been developing can be maintained long-term. Wishing you all the best. Clarissa Hadler, City Administrator. So looking for a motion to accept the letter of resignation.
So moved.
Moved by DeLuca,
Second.
second by Francis. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, 5-0. Clarissa, just want to thank you for your 2 years, and I know that you're going to be gracious, and thank you for the offer to help in the transition, and really appreciate that. And just appreciate, like you referenced, the processes that have been put into place and the work with the incredible work with the budgets as well. So we appreciate what you have done here in 2 years, and a lot's been accomplished under your leadership. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And then with that, so council will be working on a transition plan, and there'll be some meetings scheduled to do that as well. Right. Next, we will move on to council reports and other business. Who would like to start?
I'll start.
Thank you. Councilmember Burek.
So I attended the watershed meeting this month. Still learning. Yeah.
I'm still learning the
That's a
acronyms
long
for
process.
watershed.
It was a very lengthy meeting, but very well informed, and working on finalizing the annual report from last year. So, and then also attended the police commissioners meeting where they're having a few issues with a couple of squad cars, but that seems to be working out in a favorable manner. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Wanna go next, Councilmember Fay?
I continue to attend the Orono Rotary on behalf of the city. I am in the process of putting plans together for a slab extension to the picnic pavilion at Veterans Memorial Park, which we hope to have completed, poured prior to Party in the Park, first Saturday in June. Speaking of Party in the Park, I've attended a pair of meetings where we worked on logistics and fundraising. I attended an exec committee for Rotary as their treasurer and put my name in the hat for a second year as the treasurer. I've attended an EDA meeting tonight. I attended a few workshops. Tonight's a business meeting, fire commission meeting, and tomorrow will be a personnel meeting. So, believe it or not, been a pretty busy month.
Thank you. Councilmember Francis.
Since earlier in March, when I gave an update of my activities, I just attended workshops in EDA. I did make a personal visit to West Hennepin. My family made a donation, and they're putting it towards workout equipment, and they're very prudent with their dollars. The equipment they had on site already had been donated, and they were getting a deal from the YMCA. Has this huge warehouse downtown somewhere, and they got it for like 60% off. They were very excited. It was like looking at kids at Christmas time. When I handed them my family's contribution, and they're like, oh, now they're installing it tomorrow, and we can do that. And it was fun to see the excitement in their faces. So that department does a lot for us, and I'm very thankful for them. Looking forward to attending the Firefighter Awards night, beginning of April. The only other thing is April 6th, I am not able to attend Planning Commission, so I'm hoping one of you lovely peoples will fill in for me. It's my granddaughter's first communion that I need to attend.
We will find someone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilmember DeLuca.
Well, early March had me on vacation, so I missed our first meeting in March, and thank you for allowing me to have some vacation time outside of the snow area. We did have a Fire Relief Association meeting earlier, and I think as part of the agenda tonight, we had an increase in the pension contributions that was approved by the council. That was discussed at length at that association meeting. There was also an EDA meeting earlier tonight where there was discussion around the parcel downtown and some possible developers. Staff is working diligently on moving forward with a developer. I'll kind of believe it when I see it, but progress is being made, though.
All right, thank you. I've had a busy month. I had the opportunity to do a couple fun things as mayor too, so I always appreciate that. Was asked to be part of a career panel through the Rotary and Strive at Orono Schools, so it was fun to answer questions about my role as an elected official, and grateful for that opportunity. Was able to attend the Future Fire Service meeting where we're talking about the potential fire district. Some promising news on that front is Hamill and Loretto seem to be closing the door on their merger, so that's a great example for the rest of us and hopefully the potential to get some things moving. Was able to attend the League of Minnesota Cities, Minnesota Mayors Association. We did a big strategic planning session. The group is kind of lost a little bit of momentum since COVID, since we haven't been doing in-person things, so spent some time looking at that strategically. And as with Councilmember Fay, I've been busy with Rotary and Party in the Park, so super excited about that. Was able to attend the meeting with Representative Robbins, who came out to Blackwater and hosted that, so just a neat opportunity to visit casually and hear about things going on and affecting our community. At the Regional Council of Mayors, we talked about water and future forward thinking, so really proud of the staff and the plan in place for that, and it's just good to know that things are covered. And Fire Commission, we did as well. I attended that with Councilmember Fay. Big thing there is they were putting together a committee to look at purchasing a grass rig to make sure all areas are covered. West Hennepin Chamber of Commerce, our speaker was Heart Safe, so it's always good to have the refresher on the AEDs as they are throughout our city, and making sure people are comfortable using them if need be. Thanks to staff, we hosted Muffins with the Mayor, so that's always a fun informal time just to answer questions and chat, and really appreciated that. The Northwest Hennepin League this month, we met with the Hennepin County Assessor. I'm sure many of you have received your property statements in the mail. If you haven't, you should be any day soon. And make sure just to read the bottom of those for next steps if you have concerns or want to appeal. The West Hennepin Chamber of Commerce as well, we met with the Delno Chamber. Their president and one of their board members, they're looking at the potential of starting a greater Highway 12 Chamber of Commerce. So we just did some brainstorming about that and what it would look like ideally right now. And this is all hypothetical and brainstorming, but looking at from Howard Lake to Long Lake. And then there'd still be the smaller chambers along the way, but more of an umbrella. So there's some exciting opportunity there maybe to collaborate. Minnesota Women in City Government, we had our monthly meeting and we're working on our Presents event, which will be happening April 26th, so watch for more information for that. The Hennepin County Criminal Coordinating Justice Committee, we're really working on resources and just the needs vary so much in Hennepin County and the things we need out here versus what they need downtown. And just trying to represent that and find that balance has been challenging and interesting all at once to see how that all works. So it's been a busy month. Some interesting things coming up in the community that people might want to attend. We're part of the Delno Senior Center and they're hosting Citizens Academy. So if you're interested in that, it's Thursday, March 30th through May 11th, and it's a 6-week session. You'll learn about the Senior Center, the Heritage Center, Public Works, all those types of things. You can go to their website or reach out to myself. The West Hennepin Chamber of Commerce is hosting a Mocha Mixer right here in this room on Wednesday, April 19th from 7:30 to 9. It's an open house format. Bring your business cards at 8:15. They'll just do intros and announcements. Everyone is welcome at that. And then also our own West Hennepin Public Safety is offering Citizens Academy April 6th through May 25th. It's 8 weeks. It's 24 hours. You will not regret a minute of it. And it's just, it will help you to better understand law enforcement and what they do day in and day out. I think most of us at the table have taken it and have found great value in that. So if you're interested in that, you can go to their website. I think City Hall has brochures as well. Otherwise, you can reach out to West Hennepin Public Safety Directory directly. So lots of great things going on in our community and our surrounding communities. So fortunate for those opportunities. All right. With that, is there any other announcements or other business this evening? All right, looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Fay,
I'll second.
second by Francis. Any further discussion? All in favor of adjourning, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting's adjourned at 7:28.